A millionaire locks 5 strangers inside a haunted house and offers $10,000 to anyone who survives the night. But what if the real danger isn't the ghosts? 7 people have been murdered in this house over the past century, including Pritchard's own brother. Pritchard survived one night there, barely. A man named Frederick Loren introduces himself. He rented the house so his wife Annabelle can throw a haunted house party. Frederick offers $10,000 to anyone who stays the full 12 hours. If they don't survive, the money goes to their next of kin. A cheerful offer. Lance Schroeder is a test pilot who desperately needs the cash. Ruth Bridgers writes a newspaper column and has a gambling problem. Pritchard lives in mortal fear of the house, but returns anyway. Dr. David Trent is a psychiatrist who claims the ghosts will help his work on hysteria. Nora Manning was handpicked from Frederick's workforce because she needs the money more than anyone. The party begins. The guests must find the house on Haunted Hill before midnight. But remember, this party has a secret that will only surface hours from now. They gossip about their host. Frederick is a millionaire with 4 wives so far. A $50,000 party for 5 people seems extreme, even for a rich man. Then a door slams shut by itself. The house is already making its presence felt. The guests discover the front door is made of solid steel. Frederick finds his wife Annabelle upstairs in their room. She refuses to join the party she supposedly planned. Their marriage is a war zone of jealousy and suspicion. Frederick opens a bottle of champagne with a pop. Annabelle refuses to drink. She jokes about poisoning and reminds him of the time someone drugged his drink. These two don't trust each other with a glass of water. Annabelle accuses Frederick of insane jealousy. He counters that she tried to poison him once. She mentions hanging is uncomfortable in case he gets ideas. Their marriage is built on threats and arsenic. Meanwhile, Pritchard tells the guests the house's history. A former owner's wife hacked her husband and sister to pieces. The heads were never found. They still float somewhere in the house, whispering and crying. A lovely bedtime story. At midnight, the caretakers will lock everyone inside. No electricity, no phone, no one within miles, no way to call for help. Like a coffin with a $10,000 entrance fee. Anyone who wants to leave must go before midnight, but forfeits the money. Dr. Trent asks why Frederick is doing this. Ghosts, Frederick replies. He wants to see what people do when they meet one. Pritchard counts the murders. 4 men and 3 women. 4 male guests, 3 female guests. A ghost for everyone. How convenient. In the cellar, Pritchard shows them a wine vat filled with acid. A former owner threw his wife in after she insulted his winemaking. The acid destroyed everything but the bones, which floated back up. Nora nearly falls into the vat. Lance catches her just in time. None of the murders in this house were ordinary. They were all wild, violent, and different. Lance and Nora talk privately. Neither knew about being locked in. Lance is staying because $10,000 is too much to walk away from. Nora needs the money to support her family after a car accident left her the sole earner. Nora screams. She's seen a ghost, a figure in black. Lance tries to break down the locked door but can't. When he finally gets in, Nora is gone. They find Lance unconscious with a head wound. He claims he bumped his head, but the doctor points out the only way to bump your head in that room is to run into a wall. Someone hit him. Nora describes the ghost she saw, a figure in black. Dr. Trent calls it hysteria, but Frederick asks how hysteria explains what knocked Lance out. A fair question. Nora sees the ghost again. She runs to Lance, but he didn't see anything. The ghost only appears to her, and only when she's alone. She's either special or targeted. Annabelle introduces herself to Nora. She warns her not to wander alone. The house is dangerous, they all are. Annabelle seems to know more than she's letting on. Annabelle then finds Lance and bandages his head. She asks what really happened in the cellar. Lance admits Nora saw something he couldn't explain. She says Frederick is insane with jealousy and would kill her if he could. She asks Lance for help. But keep this conversation in mind. Annabelle knows more than she's sharing. Frederick finds Annabelle and mocks her. He mentions that Nora was nearly killed by a falling chandelier, and Lance was bashed in the head. He tells Annabelle to go console Lance, as she does with most men. Their marriage is a knife fight in evening dress. Annabelle refuses to attend the party again. Frederick insists. He mentions she wanted to be a lovely widow. The subtext screams murder, but who is targeting whom? Just before midnight, Nora hears voices in her room. They whisper for her to come with them before he kills her. She screams, and the guests rush to find her in a panic. Frederick reminds everyone of the deal, 10,000 each to survive the night. If anyone dies, their share goes to the others. If Frederick dies, his estate pays. The stakes just went from fun cash to survival math. Anyone who wants to leave must go now with the caretakers. But before anyone decides, the caretakers leave early and lock the doors from the outside. Everyone is trapped. The choice has been made for them. Frederick hands out party favors, tiny coffins containing loaded handguns. They're no good against the dead, he says, only the living. A party favor that doubles as a death sentence. Nora opens her suitcase and finds a woman's head inside. She screams and throws everyone out. She's unraveling fast, and someone is making sure of it. Lance asks Dr. Trent to stay near Nora's room in case she needs help. Trent agrees, but notice how quickly the doctor volunteers, as if he knows exactly what's coming next. Frederick asks Trent what to do about Nora. Trent says they should stop frightening her. He's the psychiatrist. He would know how to push someone over the edge. Lance demands Pritchard tell him where Nora is. Pritchard insists she's gone with them and can't be found. Lance searches frantically. Then Lance makes a discovery. He finds something hanging in the house. Annabelle is dead. She's hanging from the ceiling by a rope. Frederick announces it as suicide. But the details don't add up. There was nothing she could have climbed on to reach that height. Trent finds Lance and suggests they hold a meeting. But notice, Trent is the one who was supposed to be watching Nora's room. He already knows she's gone. How convenient. Pritchard wanders into Annabelle's room, muttering that she's joined the ghosts. Frederick throws him out, but Pritchard insists he's the only one who understands what's happening. He's either the most aware person here or the most unhinged. The remaining guests gather. Frederick confirms there's no way out. Steel doors, barred windows, solid stone. They're trapped until morning with a killer. Frederick points out the flaw in the suicide theory. Annabelle was hanging too high. There was nothing to climb on. She couldn't have pulled herself up. She was murdered by one of them. Trent accuses Frederick directly. Only he had a motive. Frederick counters that he wouldn't be foolish enough to hang his wife from a ceiling. Too obvious. The tension splits the room. Trent questions why a millionaire would pay 5 strangers to spend a night in a haunted house. The ghost story doesn't justify the money. Something else is going on. Pritchard warns that the guns make no difference. The ghosts are through with them. Everyone retreats to their rooms and locks the doors. Good night. Lance returns to Nora. He's convinced Frederick tried to kill her and succeeded with Annabelle. Annabelle tried to warn Nora before she died. Lance is determined to find a way out and get the police. Nora wants to go with him, but Lance insists she stay hidden. If Frederick discovers she's alive, she becomes a target again. Lance leaves to search for an escape route. Nora screams for Lance as the figure advances. She fires her gun at it. The shot echoes through the house. Upstairs, Annabelle is alive, perfectly alive. She's been hiding in a secret room. Dr. Trent joins her. They reveal the entire plot. Annabelle faked her death with a harness. Trent drove Nora to hysteria with the ghost appearances and the head in the suitcase. Their plan is almost complete. Nora is so terrified she'll shoot the first thing that moves. And Frederick is on his way to the cellar, right where Nora is waiting with her gun. Trent and Annabelle engineered the perfect murder. The ghosts were theater. The fear was manufactured. Nora was the weapon. Annabelle worries Nora isn't stupid enough to fall for it. Trent reassures her. Nora is certain Frederick attacked her in the cellar and murdered Annabelle. She's almost out of her mind with fear. She'll shoot him on sight. In the cellar, Frederick approaches. Nora sees him and fires, but her gun was loaded with blanks. She didn't shoot anyone. Trent confronts Frederick in the cellar. A struggle breaks out near the acid vat. Trent tries to throw Frederick in, but Frederick fights back. Trent stumbles. Annabelle falls into the acid vat. The weapon they planned to use became their own destruction. Frederick speaks to Annabelle's remains. She wanted everything, even his life, but she won't live to enjoy it. The perfect crime claimed the criminals instead. Pritchard delivers a final warning. Now there are 9 ghosts in the house. There will be more. The ghosts are coming for him, and then they'll come for everyone. The house keeps what it collects.